Hello there, I'm Mrs. Groovy Groves and I'm here to help you with lesson 4 practice. All right, let's do some key points. The OG is always our X value and our new number is going to be always our Y value. Is will always mean equal and of translates into multiply. So on number 1, it says match each situation with a diagram. So the first thing I want to do is I want to take a look and see which variable is smaller. I see that X is smaller than Y. I also see that it's been cut up into 7 pieces and X is 4/7 of Y. So I'm going to say X is 4/7 of Y. And now I'm going to translate that into an equation. X equals 4/7 Y. And the preferred equation is always Y equals. So I'm going to take the reciprocal equation. And that means that my answer to A would be Y equals 7/4 X. Now on B, if you take a look at B, you can see that Y is a smaller variable. So Y, it looks like it's been cut up into, like there's obviously 4 parts, and of that, like Y represents 3. So I would say Y is 3/4 of X. And then when we translate that, we would get Y equals 3/4 X. Okay, so this is very important. I'm going to highlight my equations because I always want them in the Y equals format. Next, I have 4 parts and Y is a smaller one. Y looks like it's just 1/4 of X. Y is 1/4 of X. So then I'm going to translate that into Y equals 1/4 X. Okay, dokie. So now I'm going to talk about numbers 1, 2, and 3. All right. It says Diego drank X ounces of juice and Lynn drank 1/4 less than that. Okay, so because Diego is representing X, he's the OG. And Lynn is our new person. She's the Y value. Okay. And as you can see, it says 1/4 less than. Less than means to subtract. And they're referring to that. They're referring to Diego's amount. And Diego's amount is what we're going to say is X. So I'm going to go like this. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to go 1. I'm going to say if we're using X to represent Diego's amount, then Lynn's amount is based off Diego's amount, okay? And it said 1/4 less than that. So we're going to say less than means minus 1/4 than that, 1/4 of X, ladies and gentlemen. And so now, to make life real easy, I'm going to say 4/4 X minus 1/4 X. And I'm going to translate this into Lynn is our Y value. Y equals 3/4 X. And that matches up to B. So let's put this as number 1. And now let's take a look at number 2. Lynn ran X miles. Okay. We got in Lynn's the OG. Diego ran 3/4 more than that. More than means to add. This they're referring to is X than that. So I'm going to say, I'm going to draw this in purple. So if Lynn represents X, then Diego, we're comparing Diego's amount to Lynn, so we start off with X. More than means plus, and it said 3/4 than that, so that would be 3/4 X. And I'm going to add this as 4/4 to make life easy. So I have 4/4 X plus 3/4 X. So now my equation would end up y equals 7/4 x. And as you can see, that would match up to A. So this would be number 2. All right, number 3. I have Diego bought X pounds of almonds. Okay, so Diego's the OG, and Lynn bought 1/4 of that. She's the new amount, which is her Y value. So kind of running out of space, but that's okay. Just find some space somewhere. Number 3, so I would say Diego is represented by X, and Lynn, they said she bought 1/4 of that. Okay, 1/4 of that, of X, and that's it. So we would say Y equals 1/4 X. And that matches up to C. Okay, number 2, Elena walked 12 miles, then she walked 1/4 that distance. How far did she walk altogether? Select all that apply. All right, so let's annotate some really important stuff. She walks 12 miles, then is very important. Then she walked 1/4 that distance. 1/4 of that distance, 1/4 of 12. How far does she walk altogether? Okay, so let's find out what's 1/4 of 12. There's many different ways we could find this, but I'm going to use this space over here down here because there's a lot of space down here. We could use this space. I'm going to take 12 and I'm going to divide it into 4s. So 12 divided by 4 is 3. Now remember that she walked the 12 miles, so that means she walked 15 miles altogether. Okay, so let's go through these one by one. 12 plus 1/4 is 12 and 1/4, so that's not a match. Now, if you look at B, we have to do order of operations. So we would have 1/4 times 12. 1/4 times 12 would simply be 12 over 4, and we just said it was 3. So really, this simplifies over here to 12 plus 3, and that would be 15. So C is an answer. Now let's do this one here. We got 12 over 1 times 3/4. Okay, if you multiply straight across, 12 times 3 is 36. 1 times 4 is 4. And 36 divided by 4 is 9. So that doesn't work. Okay, on B, I have 12 over 1 times 1/4. We've seen this before. We'll have 12 over 4, which is just 3. Now on D, we have 12 times the quantity 1 plus 1/4. 1 plus 1/4 is 1 and 1/4. You could do this a couple different ways, I could do 12 times 1.25. And if you use a calculator, 12 times 1.25 is 15. And on the F, you would have 12 over 1 times 5/4. Multiply straight across. 12 times 5 is 60. 1 times 4 is 4. And 60 divided by 4 is 15. All right, so number 3, it says write a story that can be represented by the equation y equals x plus 1/4 x. Okay. How about we say, there's so many different answers can be done here. We could talk about basketball hoops, goals, cupcakes, etc., etc. I'll say Miss Rain baked X cupcakes. And Mrs. Groves baked 1/4 more than that. It's so many possibilities. Please create your own. If you use my cupcake example, I know that you'll have copied. All right, number 4, it says select all ratios that are equivalent to 4 to 5. Remember that a ratio can be written in 3 different ways. You could write it as 4 to 5, you could write it as 4 divided by 5, or you could say 4 to 5, okay? But the easiest way that I can explain this is this. I'm going to say 4 to 5. If you look at that ratio, if you divide it, 4 divided by 5, you would get 0.8. So I'm going to create all the fractions. I'm going to create all the fractions, and I'm going to input it into my calculator, and I'm going to see which one lands me 0.8. Okay? That's the best way that I can think of. So if you divide 2 divided by 2.5, you get 0.8. And 3 divided by 3.75 is 0.8. And 8 divided by 10 is also 0.8. 2 divided by 3 is 0.6 repeating. 7 divided by 8 is 0.875. And 14 divided by 27.5 is 0.5090, etc., etc. Okay, so as you can see, our answers would be A, C, and E. Okie dokie. All right, number 5. It says Jada is making circular birthday invitations for her friends. The diameter of the circle is 12 centimeters. All right, hold on. This is very important. Diameter is 12 centimeters. She bought 180 centimeters of ribbon to glue around the edge. How many invitations can she make? All right, the first thing I want to do is I want to draw a circle, and I want to draw what was given to us. So we have a diameter of 12. The diameter is 12. I know that R is 6. I don't know if I need R, but I like to identify diameter and R right away. The fact that it's a circular invitation and she wants to put glue around the edge, this is screaming the concept of circumference, okay? So with this, we need the circumference formula, which is C equals pi d. So we know pi is 3.14. We know the diameter is 12. So 12 times 3.14 is 37.68. Okay, so one invitation needs this much glue around. So there's 180 centimeters of ribbon. Okay, so what we should do is we're going to take 180 divided by 37.68. 180 divided by 37.68 is 4.77. Now, excuse me, you can't make 77 100ths of an invitation. You're either going to make 4 invitations or 5 invitations. We don't have enough for 5, so we're going to say that she can for sure make 4 invitations. And let's box the answer. Okay, number 6, and the last one, it says so on A, it says find 10% of 85, and B says find 1%, and C says find 31%. Okay, there's so many different ways that we can do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to take this percent, I'm going to take the percent to a decimal. So I have 10, I have 10 divided by 100. That would be 0.1. And please understand that of means to multiply. Whenever you see of, think of multiplication right away. But when you always multiply by the decimal. So we're going to do 0.1 times 85. And 0.1 times 85 is simply 8.5. All right, so next it was 1% of 85. So I'm going to take 1 divided by 100 to figure out the decimal. So 1 divided by 100 is 0.01. Of means to times, so we're going to times by 85. And 85 times 0.01 is 0.85. And the last one, I'm going to do 31 divided by 100 to get the decimal version. So 31 divided by 100 would be 0.31. Of means to multiply. So we have 0.31 times 85. And we would get 26.35. All right, that's the end of lesson 4 practice. I hope I've helped you. Have a wonderful day. This is Mrs. Groovy Grove signing out.